Tonight, Governor Minor sues for support on Akwa Ibom project for overall well-being of citizens. Akwa Ibom First Lady tasked women to live Christ-like lives. Stakeholders can verse end to gender inequality through education as well marks Population Day. Federal government deletes loan apps, vows on more clampdown. Details of these and other stories in just a moment. Good evening and welcome to Akbc 45 News. I am Miriam Ikbutu. Governor Moino has called for support from Akwa Ibom people to enable him discharge his official responsibilities to the state. He also asked for a free hand on decisions that are in the best interest of the state. Pastor No, on his return from an official engagement, was reacting to questions from government house press, especially on the list of commissioners designate sent to the state legislature for approval. He also stopped over at the greenhouse along Airport Road, where he introduced Turkish investors willing to partner the state in the agriculture sector. The Eket Local Government Council Hall on Thursday was a beehive of activities as government dignitaries from Eket Extraction welcomed the wife of the state governor, Pastor Patience Umoino. The First Lady, who was the special guest on the occasion, tagged Eket Women Arise, applauded Dr. Mary Ann Tommy for the initiative and for aligning with the Arise agenda of Umoino administration, geared towards rural development and growth of small-scale businesses.
Pastor No, in support of empowerment program, specially gave financial support and rappers to 50 persons out of the 210 beneficiaries, while tasking them to make good use of the funds to boost their businesses. She expressed gratitude to Eket women for their massive support throughout the electioneering period and promised to return to specially appreciate them for their gesture.
I saw it as a noble gesture. That is why I decided to come to support her. Be happy with what your mother, Ireke, has chosen to do for you today. The little amount she will give you, because it is from a good heart, it will prosper you. It's to support small businesses to grow from a small 5-bedroom hotel. Today, we are a royalty group of companies. We started small. So this money is for you to go and add for your small business to become big.
Welcoming the governor's wife to their domain, the chairman of Eket Local Government Area, Mr. Kantomi, and wife Miriam, thanked Pastor Patience Eno for gracing the empowerment program, which according to them is significant. They added, in support of the governor's wife program of empowerment at the grassroots, decided to identify underprivileged women, numbering over 210 for empowerment, saying it will go a long way in boosting their businesses and respective families.
Throughout the election period, these very women here, they supported us. And in keying into the Arise agenda of His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Akwa Ibom State, through such support, to increase their businesses.
In my own little way of complementing your efforts towards the welfare of women in local governments, I decided to select a total of 210 women in Eket. It is my belief that with this little cash support of mine to these women, it will make an ultimate change in their businesses and also in their lives.
In separate goodwill messages, Mr. Frank Achibong and wife Bright, Abong and Mandinduese, Mrs. Nelly Dominic Ukbong, and the PDP chairman in Eket, Mr. Emmanuel Mbong, expressed delight over the governor's wife's presence at the event, an indication of the depth of love she has for Eket people, and prayed God's grace on her.
Mommy, we made promises to these women, and it has started through the wife.
I charge you that whatever you are going to be given, may you increase it. Okay, it is only in PDP that I going to money.
The wife of the Akwa Ibom State Governor, Pastor Patience Omoino, has charged women to emulate Christ in their conduct to show themselves worthy representatives of the kingdom of God. The First Lady was speaking during the July edition of Government House Women Monthly Prayer tagged The Manifestation of Sonship. The service held at the Government House Banquet Hall.
While stressing the need for women to speak with wisdom, the governor's wife said it was important for them to allow the glory of God to be seen in their character, speech, and conduct. Pastor urged the women to take home the theme, run with it, and show the world who they are at their places of work and in their families. She also emphasized the need for women to give themselves to learning while remaining virtuous as people with the emblem of Christ. Pastor Patience Umoino invoked God's blessings on the attendees of the prayer meeting and all Akwa Ibom women.
When you stand to speak, when you stand to do, when you go, when you come, people around you should see the glory of God in you. So we must be women that exhibit wisdom in all we do, wherever we find ourselves. Without the word that careful, you are a virtuous woman. You have the emblem, the signature, the everything of Christ in you.
Preaching on the theme, sonship, John from Genesis chapter 25 from verse 1 to 6, John chapter 14 from verse 6 to 12, Pastor Imeowo spoke of the need for believers in Christ to bear fruit of lifestyles worthy of what they profess. She said it is the responsibility of Christians to showcase, manifest, and evangelize Christ to the people so that Jesus is not just heard but seen in them, charging Christians never to repay evil for evil, but rather with blessings. Pastor Imeowo also emphasized the imperative for cultivating the consciousness of who a Christian is and his relationship with Christ, thus creating capacity to display and manifest greater works as promised by Christ to those who believe in him.
There must be a level in the likeness, in the nature of God that we have to attain. We know that we are the image of God. And that is when the spirit of sonship was set in us. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So the world now saying who we are in Christ, they are now expecting for us to showcase that responsibility, the maturity, and the authority that is in Christ Jesus.
The fellowship featured praise and worship session, congregational hymns and intercessory prayers for peace, the economic growth of the state, Governor Moino, his wife, family, and others. Faith Basi, Akbc News.
The state government has approved a scale of projects in the entire state, including financial support to women who engaged in petty trading. The state deputy governor, Senator Okoneyarinyi, disclosed this when she hosted the World Bank Task Team Nigeria for Women project. A government house reporter, Utwi Mokon, tells us more.
Senator Yaranyi, who welcomed the team as the steering committee chairman, said the state government was so passionate about economic empowerment and the political inclusion of women in the state. She thanked the World Bank for its support for Akwa Ibom women, describing the project as great, while commending Akwa Ibom Ministry for Women Affairs and Social Welfare for ensuring that women are empowered.
So the approach of World Bank is very, very commendable. I have a strong feeling that if the present tempo is sustained and more efforts invested, the Nigeria for Women project will be the game changer in the efforts to achieve gender parity in our nation.
The World Bank Tax Team leader, Nigeria for Women project, Mr. Michael Olisami, disclosed that the project was the first gender program financed by the World Bank with the aim of making Nigerian women to excel in business.
So the philosophy is to bring women together, support them to build what we call social capital. And then they meet regularly, weekly basis, and do some savings. Now, once they build that social capital, we then, they, not even we, the women themselves are able to convert that social capital into financial capital. And then be able to translate that financial capital into economic capital.
The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Welfare, Mrs. Margaret Edem, commended the World Bank for the love and concern by bringing the project to Akwa Ibom. She said the project, which started April last year, was implemented in 66 wards and 454 communities in 6 local government areas of the state, including Abak, Esreket, Ibisikbo Asutan, Nsari Ubium, Ona, and Orogonam.
Now, in Akwa Ibom State, 5 Grace of God project started in April 2022. And I'm glad to report to us that now, a year plus after, we have 59 women, 386 women, 59,386 women in Akwa Ibom State participating fully in this project. One aspect started 5 years ago, and we just came in last year. And we are able to attend this act. I want to believe that by the grace of God, we will surpass all the other states. I want to commend the government of Akwa Ibom State, both the immediate past governor and the present governor, for their interest in this project. Because I definitely believe that this project will positively impact on the lives of our women.
Utwi Mokon, Akbc News.
And still to come, 2023 First School Living Certificate examination in Akwa Ibom postponed till next week Saturday. And federal government deletes illegal loan apps, this and more when we return. Stay with us.
Momo better pass cash. Yes, so Momo don't begin turn people to millionaires. Over 200 million naira dey grant for everyone to win. No story. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 12 people must become millionaires for the Momo Refer and Win promo. How? Just dial *671# to open Momo account. Select option 6 to refer your family and friends them, your neighbor, tailor, your oga, mechanic, hairdresser, and plenty people where you sabi. After you don't refer them, make sure say them open Momo account and use them recharge airtime or data at least 100 naira. Chicken, my people, as you just dial that code, you don't refer the person with that. This promo go run from June 15 till August 9, 2023. You don't know the carry lasso. Not do yourself. Momo better pass cash.
So good to have you back. The state government has announced the postponement of the 2023 First School Living Certificate examination, earlier scheduled for tomorrow, Saturday, July 22, 2023. The information is contained in a release signed by the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Education, Lady Rose Bassi. The release indicates that the examination will now hold on Saturday, July 29, 2023, while candidates are expected to report at the various examination centers on that day by 7:30 in the morning. Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly has mandated its Committee on Security, Youth and Sports to explore the implementation of the prayers of a motion seeking the enforcement of security measures for fishermen and businesses in the coastal communities of Akwa Ibom. The motion was one of several others considered at Thursday's plenary. House of Assembly reporter Uyo Koswa completes the story.
The motion seeking security in coastal communities in the state, as well as riverine businesses, which was sponsored by the Akbc Eastern Obulu State Constituency Representative, Mrs. Selina Okpatu, had elicited the interest of all the members.
This motion specifically prays that this House resolve, 1, for all His Excellency Pastor the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, to deploy a collective approach aimed at strengthening and expanding the existing patrol teams to effectively cover all coastal communities in the state.
Yes, that motion is a very good motion because over time, people living in the riverine areas have been passing through problems.
The House similarly considered the motion on the need to implement the Akwa Ibom State Health Insurance Agency law, sponsored by the Ibom State Constituency Representative, Mr. Moses Essien.
This House also recalls that one of the cardinal objectives of this law was to ensure that every citizen and resident of the state have access to good and affordable health services, but there is no mechanism put in place to ensure its implementation the benefit of Akwa Ibom.
The House urged its Committee on Works and Transport to explore modalities for implementing the prayers of a motion for the enforcement of road traffic laws to reduce avoidable incidences of road traffic accidents in Uyo and other parts of the state. The motion was sponsored by the Uruwanam State Constituency Representative, Prince Samson Idiom. The next plenary of the House is scheduled for Tuesday, July 25. Uyo Uswa, Akbc News.
Nigerians are grappling with a further increase in the pump price of premium motor spirit, commonly known as petrol. The recent development has left citizens and stakeholders questioning the implications for the economy and the lives of ordinary Nigerians. A reporter in this report spoke with residents of Uyo, transporters, fuel attendants, and motorists on the price hike. According to the regulatory authorities, the decision to raise the pump price of PMS was in response to the global surge in crude oil prices and the need to ensure the sustainability of the country's oil sector. The increase, while intended to address the financial challenges faced by the government, has ignited concerns about its impact on the already burdened citizens. Citizens expressed their frustration, highlighting the potential ripple effects on transportation costs, food prices, and overall living expenses.
Because like all those drivers, taxi drivers and ticket drivers, we are not happy about the fuel subsidy because the fuel have been increasing and people have been suffering because of this. And
very, very bad for the business. We cannot meet up. Government buying when I'm young auto, say what can I do? I do so that passengers in my kekeba, what passengers is a sanga. You want to go in a filling station.
Many Nigerians rely heavily on petrol for their commute, and any increase in its price directly affects their household budgets. The government, however, assures the public that the decision was not made lightly and that it was necessary to maintain the stability of the oil sector. They argued that the increase in crude oil prices on the global market made it difficult to sustain the previous pump price since the subsidy regime has ended. Stakeholders who have weighed in on the matter expressed concerns about the potential inflationary impact on the price hike. They argued that increased transportation costs and higher production expenses for businesses may lead to rise in prices of goods and services across all sectors. The increase in pump price of PNA serves as a reminder of the challenges faced by Nigeria as an oil-dependent nation. It highlights the need for comprehensive economic reform, investment in alternative energy sources, and development of recourse and diversified economy. From Miriam Ekoti, Akbc News. The director of Ekma Royal Schools, Elder David Ekanum, has stressed the need for commitment towards prioritizing learning and nurturing students to achieve their full potentials. Elder Ekanum was speaking during the end of session party and send off of the 2022-2023 set of the school. The event, held at the school compound of Nelson Mandela Street, Uyo, featured the crowning of King and Queen of Ekma Royal Schools, as well as award of a 6-year scholarship to the best graduating pupil.
Elder David Ekanum, who noted that his vision is to equip the pupils with functional literacy programs and educational intervention projects that will lay a good foundation for their academic pursuits, advised them to be studious as their future depends on it. He appreciated parents for their worthy contribution, as well as staff of the school for their untiring commitment in grooming the pupils and students, which he said resulted in winning different awards and laurels within the state and at the national levels. As a way of rewarding hard work, the director of Ekma Royal Schools also promised a 6-year scholarship for 3 best students in the entrance examination and cash award ranging from 50,000 naira to 75,000 naira to another 40 students. He appealed to government to construct Afarobe and Nelson Mandela Street in order to create access roads to the school.
Let's go to second position in English language in the national Olympiad competition. Our major and biggest constraint is access road to this school. We earnestly appeal to the government to urgently come to our rescue by completing the construction of a fountain road.
The principal of Ekma Royal Schools, Mr. Anietudo, congratulated the 2022-2023 graduating class for exhibiting their best to justify their stay in the school, urging them to uphold the virtues and high moral standard inculcated in them. He said that admission is ongoing for 2023-2024 academic session, even as he informed parents and pupils of the holiday lessons from Monday to Thursday from July 31st to August 30, 2023 at the school premises.
My encouragement to our people is that they should keep on working. No matter what happens, they should do their best, try their best, and put more effort to move from this level to a higher level.
Also speaking, the representative of the PTA chairman, Evangelist Kosi Okpara, lauded the management of Ekma Royal Schools for fortifying the students and pupils with the requisite knowledge, which has resulted in laudable testimonials, saying the vision of the school will thrive in the academic world. The events featured songs, cultural dance, and presentation of prizes to pupils who have distinguished themselves in character and learning.
We welcome you on this happy day.
High point of the event was the award of 6-year scholarship to the best graduating pupil, Princess Victoria Jude, and the crowning of Uyaya Basi and Ubarobong Achibong as King and Queen of Ekma Royal Schools. In a valedictory speech, the outgone senior prefects of the school, Emediong Sunday, thanked their parents and teachers for the different roles they played during their years of studies and pledged to be good ambassadors of the school. Margaret Bassi, Akbc News.
Stakeholders have converged on the state headquarters of the National Population Commission, 15 Akbanesian Street, Uyo, to commemorate the World Population Day. The event was on the theme, Unleashing the Power of Gender Equality, uplifting the voices of women and girls to unlock a world's infinite possibilities. The event, organized by the Federal Commissioner representing the state in the Commission, Chief Benedict Ukpong, was graced by the State President, National Council for Women's Societies, Lady Domisro Koko, and state government officials who emphasized the importance of gender equality and empowerment of women and girls in society. Welcome address, the Federal Commissioner Chief Benedict Ukpong highlighted the significance of gender equality as a catalyst for social progress and sustainable development. Chief Ukpong emphasized that achieving gender equality is not only a fundamental human right, but also a crucial factor in eradicating poverty, promoting economic growth, and building peaceful and inclusive societies.
The households, anything you want to do that will touch on all persons in Nigeria, you have to do still to the household. And we are the ones that have the frame that you can, work and get involved to the households.
The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Information and Strategy, Akbarawa James Edit, who was represented by Deputy Director in his office, emphasized the need for collective action and collaboration among government bodies, civil organizations, and individuals to address the existing gender disparity. Nsa Basi, who represented the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Welfare, said empowering women and girls is not only a moral obligation, but also a strategic investment in the betterment of society as a whole. In her remarks, the state president, who is a permanent advocate for women's rights and gender equality, called for the uplift of women's voices and the creation of an enabling environment that allows women and girls to thrive. She highlighted the immense potential and untapped talent that abound among women and girls, urging society to provide them equal opportunities and support to unlock their infinite possibilities. The State Director, National Population Commission, Mr. Manuel Edem, sued for collaboration among stakeholders to end gender inequality.
One of the major segments of our population as a female population. It's important that we pay more attention to things affecting that segment of the population.
The event featured panel discussions and interactive sections focusing on key issues such as education, healthcare, economic empowerment, and political participation amongst women. The event concluded with a renewed commitment from the attendees to work towards achieving gender equality and empowering women and girls in society. Miriam Ekbutu, Akbc News. On the national scene, the House of Representatives has directed the Federal Ministry of Environment, Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC), and the Ecological Fund Office to immediately intervene in the hazards caused by flood in Iko and Okorombobo communities of Eastern Obolo local government area of Akwa Ibom State. This followed a motion of urgent public importance by the Korabasi Parenin, Eastern Obolo Federal Constituency Representative, Mr. Dwagododo. The lawmaker in the motion expressed worry on last Sunday's flood that ravaged private public buildings and farmlands. He also disclosed that the only bridge connecting both communities has been cut off, with hundreds of people rendered homeless.
And more than 90 houses in Iko and 50 houses in Okorombo communities have been overtaken by flood. Yet incident reports keep unfolding. The House is most worried that the menace has greeted inhabitants of these affected communities with untold hardship, with many rendered homeless and their businesses truncated, thereby causing victims to forcefully relocate to seek refuge in neighboring communities, who by circumstantial evaluation are equally sitting on a time bomb. The House resolved to direct, one, to direct the Federal Ministry of Environment, Niger Delta Development Commission, Ecological Fund Office, other concerned government agencies to immediately intervene and provide lasting solutions to the hazard caused by the flood in Iko and Okorombo communities in Eastern Obolo local government area of Akwa Ibom State.
The federal government, through the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, has said it will release a list of illegal, unregistered digital loan apps operating in Nigeria. It also said it will delist 2 legal but registered loan apps from Google Play Store for harassing Nigerians. FCCPC on Thursday added that digital money lenders who had refused or failed to register under its guidelines are on its watch list, adding that the list of those digital money lenders will be made available on the Commission's website. He promised that the Commission will continue to scrutinize listed DMLs and periodically update the list to ensure that only businesses that consistently and completely comply with the spirit and intention of the regulatory framework are allowed to do business in Nigeria. It advised Nigerians to exercise restraints and discretion in selecting digital money lenders, and specifically recommended consumers to only patronize digital lenders on its approved list to avoid falling victims to illegal and prohibited lending and recovery practices. And that's our package tonight, but just before we go another look at the top stories. Governor Moino has called for support from Akwa Ibom people to enable him to discharge his official responsibilities to the state and its people. He also asked for a free hand on decisions that are in the best interest of the state. Pastor Eno, on his return from an official engagement, was reacting to questions from government house press, especially on the list of commissioners designate sent to the state legislature for approval. The Eket Local Government Council Hall on Thursday was a beehive of activities as government dignitaries from Eket extraction welcomed the wife of the state governor, Pastor Patience Umoino. The First Lady was the special guest on the occasion, tagged Eket Women Arise. That's a package tonight. We thank you so much for finding time to be with us on the news. Wish you some sweet dreams. Good night.